Today we're talking about the everyday habits that you may be doing that make your anxiety or PTSD activations worse without even realizing it.
Join us. Your TLC adventure starts now. First up, avoiding crowded places. While it's understandable to want to avoid triggers, constantly avoiding crowded places can lead to isolation and increased anxiety about social situations.
When I first went off work before I was even properly diagnosed, I chose to avoid going to places that caused me activation. The result was living a more isolated life, to the point that at times I was even isolating from my family members. It also makes it more difficult to get back into socializing with others. If you're feeling like you need to isolate, instead try gradually exposing yourself to less crowded places, like a quiet cafe or a small park in a familiar area that feels safer to you. Slowly building up your tolerance can help reduce anxiety over time.
Next, overloading the schedule. Packing your day with too many activities can be overwhelming and lead to increased anxiety and an energy crash.
Try to simplify your schedule by prioritizing tasks and allowing for downtime. Giving yourself space to breathe can make a big difference. Everyone's capabilities are going to be different, and it will take some trial and error to work out what's within your capacity. For me, I still struggle with my perception of my capabilities based on what I could do before, as opposed to what I'm capable of doing now. This takes time and self-awareness, and it is not easy. So when you accidentally overdo it, acknowledge that, let yourself recover, and adjust it moving forward.
Lack of sleep is a common issue for people with PTSD and can significantly contribute to anxiety.
Establishing a consistent sleep routine, creating a calming bedtime ritual, and avoiding screens before bed can help improve sleep quality. If you have a poor sleep the night before, be aware that fatigue will likely cause your capacity to deal with triggers to be lowered. Adjust your schedule to allow for recovery and less chances for activation.
High caffeine and sugar intake can exacerbate anxiety symptoms. While it's tempting to rely on an extra cup of coffee or that sugary snack, it can lead to increased nervousness and jitteriness.
Within my first year of learning about my PTSD, I would occasionally indulge in a Vietnamese coffee, which is delicious, but packed with caffeine and sugar. It didn't take me long to recognize the pattern of panic attacks occurring with no logical trigger. I was shocked to realize that caffeine and sugar could actually heighten these symptoms. It wasn't until later that I was taught this is common amongst people with PTSD. Try to reduce your caffeine and sugar intake gradually and opt for healthier alternatives like herbal teas, or just embrace the brown water of sadness.
Ignoring physical health can also impact anxiety levels. Lack of exercise, poor diet, neglecting self-care can all contribute to increased anxiety.
Incorporate regular exercise, eat a balanced diet, and prioritize self-care activities to support your overall well-being. We've all heard it a million times before. This is all easy enough to say, but as we've demonstrated before, living with PTSD is exhausting, and it isn't always possible to motivate yourself. Sometimes you just need to recover. For me, this is a balance between being able to acknowledge when my body just needs to recuperate, and on the days where I'm able, my goal is just to move. Sometimes that can be a full-blown workout, and sometimes it's a walk or functional movement like shoveling snow.
Negative self-talk can be a major contributor to anxiety. Constantly criticizing yourself and focusing on negative thoughts can create a cycle of anxiety.
Practice positive affirmations and challenge negative thoughts by focusing on your strengths and accomplishments. I still struggle with this daily. If you have a partner or a spouse, this may be something that you can share with them. Often Chris will make me aware that I made a disparaging comment about myself that I wasn't even aware of. Being cognizant of that and trying to focus on positive language use is the only way to change this. Remember to give yourself some grace through this journey.
Overuse of technology, especially social media, can contribute to anxiety. Constantly scrolling through negative news or comparing yourself to others can be detrimental to mental health.
Set boundaries for technology use. Take breaks from social media. Focus on real-life interactions and activities. For me, I found I had to take social media breaks and even cut down on which platforms I use. We all know that people feel more comfortable expressing themselves online, and unfortunately, that can lead to a lot of negativity. Take breaks if you find you're more anxious or activated after scrolling online, or choose to limit yourself to platforms where you have more control over your feed. Don't be afraid to remove activating people from following you. If you don't allow them access to you in person, there's no need for them to have access to you online.
Ensuring you're not accidentally making your symptoms worse starts with paying attention to what is impacting you and making gradual adjustments. These are the everyday habits that we've noticed increase anxiety for people with PTSD, and small changes that can help safeguard against them. Stay safe, reach out for the support you need, because there are many resources available. I'm Chris.
I'm Rebecca. Thanks for watching, take care, and remember to indulge in the TLC you deserve. We'll see you in the next video. It's like herbal teas and fruits. Try to reduce your caffeine and sugar intake gradually and opt for healthy and here we go. Try reduce so close and yet so far.